Hi, everyone. Welcome to English Learning Universe. I'm Alex. Today, I want to talk about something that a lot of English learners face. I can understand English really well, but why can't I speak it? If you've ever thought that, you're not alone. I went through the exact same thing when I was learning English, and it took me a while to figure out why. Today, I'm going to share my story with you, along with some tips that can help you speak English. Let me tell you a little bit about my journey. When I first started learning English, I put a lot of time into listening and reading. I could understand conversations in movies and even enjoy English books. I felt great. But when it came time to speak, things were different. Suddenly, I couldn't find the right words. I'd mix up grammar, and I felt really self-conscious. It was like all the English in my head was hiding when I needed it most. Does that sound familiar? At first, I didn't understand what was going on. I thought maybe I wasn't trying hard enough. But over time, I learned that understanding a language and speaking it are two very different skills. Think of it like listening to music versus actually playing an instrument. You can enjoy music without much effort. But if someone handed you a guitar, you'd need to practice to play a song. It's the same with English. Listening and reading are passive skills, but speaking is active. You have to create sentences, pick words, and try to sound natural all at once. One big challenge that held me back was fear of making mistakes. I was so worried about sounding wrong or using incorrect grammar. I remember a time I tried to say something simple, like I like to eat pizza, and ended up saying, I eat pizza, liking. I was so embarrassed that I didn't speak English for the rest of the day. But over time, I learned that mistakes are actually essential. Think about it. You learned to walk by falling, right? Speaking is the same. You have to fall a few times to find your balance. Once I let go of trying to sound perfect, I felt a lot more relaxed. When I was around friends or language partners, I just went for it. If I made a mistake, I laughed it off and tried again. This mindset shift was a game changer. Remember, native speakers make mistakes too. When you stop focusing on being perfect, you start focusing on actually expressing yourself, which is way more important. Another challenge I faced was that I used to think in my native language and then translate into English. This made everything much harder. I'd try to translate every single word, and by the time I was ready to speak, the conversation had already moved on. This habit slowed me down and made me second-guess myself a lot. So, I started practicing thinking directly in English. At first, it was tricky, but I made it a habit by describing things around me. For example, I'd look at my desk and think, there's a blue notebook, a black pen, and my phone. It might seem small, but doing this every day really helps. If you try it, you'll start noticing that English words come to mind more easily, and you'll speak faster without translating. I also realized that I just wasn't practicing speaking enough. I'd listen to English a lot, but speaking, not so much. I realized that I needed to make speaking part of my daily routine, even if it was just to myself. So, I started talking to myself. I know it sounds funny, but it worked. I'd describe my day out loud. Today, I'm going to the store, or I need to call my friend later. Even though no one was listening, I was getting used to forming sentences and hearing my own voice in English. If you can find a language partner or a friend to practice with, that's great. But if not, try this trick. It's super helpful. Another challenge was confidence. Speaking in English felt like putting myself on stage. I'd feel nervous, and sometimes I'd freeze up. But one thing that really helped build my confidence was recording myself speaking. I know listening to yourself can be a little cringy, but it helped me so much. I started recording myself saying simple sentences or talking about my day. Listening to these recordings helped me notice areas where I could improve my pronunciation. And it also helped me get used to my own voice. Plus, it's really rewarding to listen back a few months later and hear how much you've improved. Give it a try. Just record yourself on your phone and listen back once in a while. Here's one last tip. If you want to take things to the next level, try a language exchange app. You can connect with native English speakers who want to learn your language. So it's a win-win. I used one of these apps, and it helped me get comfortable with real conversations. Plus, speaking with someone who's learning too can be less intimidating, since you're both practicing and helping each other. Learning to speak English fluently doesn't happen overnight. But I hope my story and these tips inspire you to keep going. Remember, if you can understand English, you're already halfway there. Focus on speaking a little every day. Don't worry about making mistakes and have fun with it. You'll be surprised at how much progress you'll make over time. Let me know in the comments if you've faced similar challenges, and share your favorite tip from today. I'd love to hear from you. Keep practicing, and remember that every small step counts. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe for more practical English lessons. Keep practicing, and you'll see amazing progress. See you in the next video.